Hello everyone and welcome to online English class. This is level 1, lesson number 13, which the first day of this lesson is May 18th. This is part 1, this is video 1. In this video we're going to do the warm-up and we're going to learn about citizenship. If you do not want to learn about citizenship, you can skip this video and go to video 2. You are probably watching this video between May 18th and May 18th and May the 2nd. This video was filmed on May 14th, 2020. So let's start with the warm-up. Today is, let's see what today is. Today is Thursday. The date is May 14th, 2020. So the month is May, the date is the 14th, and the year is 2020. The day is Thursday, and the date is the 14th. Now let's look at the weather. Right now it is Thursday at 1 p.m. It says the weather is mostly cloudy. The temperature right now is 73 degrees. And if we look at the bottom, we have the temperature range for today. So today, the high temperature is 80 and the low temperature is 55 degrees. So the weather is partly cloudy. Today, the temperature range is from the temperature range is the low temperature and the high temperature. We say the low temperature first. The low temperature is 58 degrees. The high temperature is 80 degrees. So today the temperature range is from 58 to 80 degrees. Right now, the temperature is, so right now, at 1 p.m. in the afternoon, the temperature is 73 degrees. Right now, the temperature is 73 degrees. So let's look at the temperature for today. So right now it is in the afternoon at around 2 p.m. In the evening between 5 p.m. and 8 p.m. it is 79 to 77 degrees. It's kind of hot. But if you look at night at around midnight, so 11 p.m. 2 a.m. it's 69 to 65 degrees. It's a little more cool. And tomorrow in the early morning at 5 a.m. is when it's a little bit colder. So it's around 60 degrees tomorrow morning, or in the early morning. In the late morning, so around 11 a.m., it is close to 70 degrees. So it's cool again. So here we have today in the afternoon, in the evening, at night, tomorrow in the morning. So right now, I'm going to say it feels warm because it's 73 degrees. It feels warm. Yesterday, we're talking about the past. When we talk about the past, we say was. Yesterday, the weather was cloudy. Tomorrow, we're talking about the future. In the future, we say will be. Tomorrow, the weather will be. Today is Thursday. Tomorrow is Friday. Friday looks partly cloudy. Tomorrow, the weather will be partly cloudy. Okay, so in this video, we are going to learn about citizenship. If you do not want to learn about citizenship, you can go to part 2. You can go to video 2. this video is only about citizenship, part 1. If you want to skip this, you can go to part 2. Okay, so in this video, we're going to work with this book. I don't have this book in paper, so I'm using the one on the internet, online. This book is free, and I will put this book on my website. You can find this on my website. I will show you next time when it's ready. But in this book, we learn about the United States. I know a lot of you have this book, but I know a lot of you don't have this book too. But this book is available to everyone online. You do not need to buy it. You don't need to pay money. It's free online. So I'm going to use this book so everyone can look at it together. Let's start off with the government. We're going to start with the American government. So the government, this word here, government, is the people who make the rules, the laws for the country. So let's write some important words before we start. I need my light. All right, so government. It's pronounced mint. This is the pronunciation. Government. Maybe that's an I. Government. The government is the people who make laws. People who make laws and taxes. Laws. Laws are rules. So the speed limit, how fast you can drive, or how old you need to be to drink wine or alcohol, these are rules. These are laws. And the people who make the laws are called the government. All right, so let's get started. So you don't need to read this. It's too difficult to read. But let's start with question number 1. So these are the questions they will ask you when you take your citizenship test. If you're going to take the citizenship test or the interview, these are the questions they ask you. They have the questions ready. So question number 1 is, what is the supreme law of the land? What is the supreme law of the land? Okay, so let's start with the word supreme. Let's start with the word law. We know law means rule. So the word law means rule. Now let's talk about supreme. Supreme. The supreme means the most powerful, or the highest. Or the most important. Okay. So the word supreme means the most powerful, the highest, or the most important. That's what supreme means. Another way you can think about this is a cheese pizza. So this is a cheese pizza. It's okay, it's regular. And then this is a pizza with 2 toppings. So a pizza with 2 toppings, there's little things on it. So maybe mushrooms or ham or pepperoni, or if you like pineapple. I don't like pineapple in pizza. But okay, so this pizza has more things on it. It probably costs a little more money. It tastes better, okay? And then we have the Supreme Pizza. The Supreme Pizza has everything on it. It has a lot of toppings on it. It has all of them. So it has sausage, it has pepperoni, olives, peppers, mushrooms. It has a lot of stuff. So a cheese pizza is just regular. There is nothing on it. Pizza with 2 toppings has some things on it. The Supreme Pizza has a lot of stuff on it. It has so much stuff on it. It's a Supreme Pizza. It is the highest or the most important. It's also the highest price. And so we can say this is the best. I like this one a lot. This one is, it's okay. This one is good. This one is the best. It's the most powerful, the highest, the most important is the Supreme Pizza. So the word supreme means the most powerful or the best. So if I show you, so this marker is a little old. You can see that when I draw, it's not very good. It's not as like good because it's old. This one is new. If I draw pictures with this marker, this new marker, it's supreme. It's better. So, the supreme law. The supreme law is the most important law. It's the most powerful law. Of the land, this just means of the country. So the country is the United States. What is the most powerful rule of the country? The most powerful rule of the country is the Constitution. So let's look at the Constitution. This is the Constitution. Let me make it bigger. This is the Constitution of the United States. The Constitution is a document. It is a paper. It is a paper that has all of the laws on it for the country. This paper has all of the rules for the country. It is the most important rule in the country. So what is the supreme law of the land? The answer is the Constitution. The Constitution, people wrote it in 1787. It's the start of the United States. The Constitution is a document that says, this is the United States, and this is the rule for the United States. These are the rules. That is the Constitution. It is the most powerful rule in the country. So we have the Constitution is a document. The Constitution is a document or a paper that has important rules for the country and government. So the Constitution is a document or a paper, and it has important rules or important laws for the country and the government. It is the supreme law of the land. It is the supreme law of the land, the Constitution. So, with the Constitution, we have the Constitution is the highest law. After the Constitution comes country laws, state laws, and then city laws. So, the Constitution is for the whole country. It's for the country and government. The Constitution is for the country and the government. It is the supreme law of the land. It is the most important. After the Constitution comes the country laws, the laws for the country. And under the country laws, there are state laws. These are less important than the country laws and less important than the Constitution. And under the state laws, we have city laws. So these are all of the laws we have. The most important or the supreme law is the Constitution. It is this document that says all of the rules for the country and the government. So let's look at number 2. What does the Constitution do? What is the Constitution? The Constitution sets up the government and defines the government. What do these two mean? This one and this one means it makes the rules for the government. So, the Constitution says we have a president. We have Congress. Congress is another name for Parliament. You probably know Parliament. It's just Congress in the United States. The same thing, different name. We call it Congress. And it tells us the courts. And it tells us how our capital is Washington, D.C. It sets the rules for the government. The Constitution writes all of the rules for the government. And it protects basic rights of Americans. What does this mean? Well, it protects, and it protects rights. So let's look at that. A right. A right is something you can do. A right is something you can do. So, it means you can go to church, you can get a job if you're a man, a woman, or whatever country you're from. You have the right to get a job. You have the right to say what you want or write what you want. I can write anything I can write anything. I have the right to do that. The right is something you can do. So, the Constitution, there are rules in the Constitution that says everyone in America can do this. Everyone in America can have their religion. You can go to church, you can go to temple, you can go to any religion you want or no religion. It is your right. You can do what you want. The Constitution protects, it says, yes, you can do this. You can go to church, you can go to work, you can do something. These rights are in the Constitution. The Constitution also says we have the national government. The national government is for the country. And then we have state government. Is for every state. So we have the national government. The national government is all of the states. It's for the country. The state governments, there are 50 states. Every state has its own government. It's all the same, but every state has one. So Georgia has a government, Florida has a government, Texas has a different government. It's all the same, but also they're different. So we have national and we have state. So if we look here, we have the Constitution, we have the country, we have the state, we have the city. So the number 1 and number 2 are the national government. These are for the whole country. And here we have the state and the city. These are for individuals. These are for every state and every city. The Constitution says these two are different. They can do different things. So, a national law, a national rule is if you want to drink wine, if you want to drink alcohol, you have to be 21 years old. If you want to smoke cigarettes, you have to be 21 years old. This is the law for the country. Okay? And the state government. So if I want to drive, I have to follow the speed limit. I have to look for the speed limit when I drive. The state government controls the speed limit. So the state can say, okay, so on this highway you can only go 65 miles per hour. The speed limit on this road is 65 miles per hour. This is a rule that the state government makes. Not the national, the state decides the speed limit. So we have two different levels of government. We have the country and we have the state. There is a word for that. Okay, so let's read this. The Constitution of the United States divides. Remember when we did math and we talked about the word divide? So if you divide something, you split it into equal pieces. So this is a pizza. There are 8 pieces here. I divided the pizza into 8 pieces. This is a pizza. I divide the pizza to 2 pieces. 1, 2. I divide the pizza. 1, 2. I divide the pizza to 2 pieces. Here, I divide the pizza into 8 pieces. It is 1 pizza, but I divide the pizza into 8 pieces. So the word divide means we make one thing into smaller but equal pieces. So the Constitution of the United States divides government power between the national government. The national government is for the country. So it divides the government power for the national government and the state governments. The name for this division, the name for this is federalism. Federalism is when you divide something. Federalism is when we divide the national government and the state government. Federalism says, hey, this is different And this is different. This is different, and this is different. We divide the rules. So the national government can decide if you want to drink alcohol or if you want to smoke cigarettes, you have to be 21 years old. The state government says, okay, if you want to drive, this is how fast you can go in our state. So the speed limit in Georgia is 65. The speed limit in Texas is 80. The speed limit is different for every state. But in the country, everywhere you go in the country, if you want to drink wine, you have to be 21 years old. It's for the whole country. This is how federalism works. We divide power, we divide the rules. So the national government makes rules for everybody, and the state government makes rules for the state.